Emily, and I'm the Youth Outreach Librarian at the Arlington Heights Memorial Library. Since our library is currently closed, I wanted to make a video today to share with you some good book titles for about 7th through 10th grade that you can find online through our website. The Arlington Heights Memorial Library has two main ebook and e-audiobook providers, Cloud Library and Hoopla. Both can be found on our website, ahml.info, under the Borrow tab by clicking the eBooks and Downloads link. We've also included links in the video description. By the way, if you live in a town other than Arlington Heights, you should check your home library's website to see what e-resources they subscribe to, because you may even be able to find some of the books I'm about to talk about. Today, I'm going to focus on books available on Hoopla for this video, because multiple users can check out the same title at the same time. Wouldn't that be so fun if you were reading the same book as your friend right now? I will be giving my suggestions for age range for each book, but grown-ups, you work with your children to make the judgment call on if a title would be a good fit. If you want to learn about a way to get even more recommendations, stick around until the end of this video or click on the Book Me link in the video description. The first book I want to share with you is called The Truth as Told by Mason Buttle, and I'd say this would be good for a 7th or 8th grader. As you might guess, this is about a boy named Mason Buttle. Mason is the biggest, sweatiest kid in his grade, and everyone knows that he can barely read or write. What they don't know is that he has the ability to see colors when he's feeling intense emotions. He sees a pretty cotton candy pink cloud whenever he's happy, and a smoggy green mist whenever he can't get the answer right. And he's been seeing a lot more green than pink lately, because Mason's learning disabilities are made worse by the fact that he's been grieving for the last year. Last year, Mason was out playing with his best friend Benny in a tree house in his family's rundown orchard. He said goodbye to Benny to go and have dinner with his family, and then when he came back to the tree house later, he found his best friend laying on the foot of the tree house, dead. An investigation has been dragging on this whole year, and Mason, as honest as the day is long, cannot understand why Lieutenant Bear won't believe the story that he has been telling him about that day since the first day. He doesn't know what other way he can say it, but luckily Mason is able to make a new friend, Tiny Calvin Chomsky. The boys are both relentlessly bullied by other kids that is in the neighborhood, so they decide to create an underground club space for themselves. Just when Mason thinks that everything is starting to get better, though, all of a sudden Calvin goes missing too, and all of a sudden Mason finds himself in trouble again. This book is part mystery and part realistic fiction, and I swear it's surprisingly funny given everything that I just told you. Mason has a great way of looking at the world and speaking, and I really love this book, so I think you might too. It's The Truth as Told by Mason Buttle by Leslie Connor. The next book I want to tell you about is called Redwood and Ponytail by K.A. Holt. And again, I think this would be good for 7th and 8th graders. If you've read K.A. Holt's other books, then you might guess that this is another book in verse, so that means that it's told in poetry. It's the story of two girls that are opposites in many ways, but who are drawn to each other at the start of their 7th grade year. We have Kate, who appears to be the stereotypical cheerleader with a sleek ponytail and a perfectly polished persona. But she's starting to question if she really wants to be head cheerleader or if that's just what her mom has always wanted for her. And then we have Tam, who is tall, athletic, and frequently mistaken for a boy, but she doesn't care. She's confident and she knows everyone in school, but she's slowly learning that it can also be really lonely if you're not close with anyone in particular. Their deepening friendship inevitably changes and reveals them in ways to themselves and everyone around them that they didn't even anticipate. Like I said, this is a book in verse, and it's a very, very beautiful story about first crushes and the ways that friendship change in middle school. So that's Redwood and Ponytail by K.A. Holt. Last but certainly not least, I have Miles Morales by Jason Reynolds. This would be great for an 8th through 10th grader, I think. Miles Morales is just your average teenager. He has dinner every Sunday night with his parents. He chills out playing old school video games with his best friend Genki. And he's desperately trying to figure out what to do about his crush on the brainy, beautiful poet Alicia. He's even got a scholarship spot at the prestigious Brooklyn Visions Academy. Oh yeah, and by the way, he's Spider-Man. But lately, Miles is starting to think that his Spidey powers might have an expiration date because his Spidey senses keep going off at weird times. In fact, it resulted in this situation. Miles was suspended for having to pee. Well, for saying he had to pee. After his history teacher, Mr. Chamberlain, said no, Miles begged. And once Mr. Chamberlain said no again, Miles left. So, he was actually suspended for leaving class. But here's the thing. Miles didn't really have to pee. And no, he didn't have to do that either. Miles had to rescue someone. At least, he thought he did. Truth was, his Spidey sense had been on the fritz lately, but Miles couldn't risk it. Couldn't ignore what he considered his responsibility. So when he runs out of class and finds that there's no one that needs saving, and then it results in his suspension, he starts to question his abilities. After all, he tells himself his dad and uncle have criminal records, so maybe kids like him aren't meant to be superheroes. He starts to wonder if maybe he should take his dad's advice and focus on saving himself. As Miles tries to get his school life back on track, he still can't shake the vivid nightmares that continue to haunt him, nor can he avoid the relentless buzz of his Spidey sense every day in history class. But after his scholarship is threatened, Miles uncovers a chilling plot, one that puts his friends, his neighborhood, and himself in danger. Jason Reynolds is hands down one of my absolute favorite authors. So if you've read anything else by him, you know he has a great way with words. So if you like well-written narratives or superhero stories, Miles Morales is going to be a great one for you by Jason Reynolds. I should probably mention that this is a real book. It's not a graphic novel, but Hoopla does have a ton of graphic novels on there, so you should go explore a little bit if you like graphic novels. So, if you would like recommendations for other things to read on Cloud Library or Hoopla for anyone ages 0 through 99, please fill out the Book Me form, which is located on the Reader Services page, which is under the Services tab on our website. In my videos, I'm only going to be talking about books for about 2nd grade through early high school, but I have some absolutely fantastic coworkers who would love to help me help you find some good titles for any other age. I also wanted to throw out there that if you're an educator in any of the schools located in Arlington Heights, please feel free to reach out to me if there's any way that Arlington Heights Memorial Library can help you while you navigate continuing your students' education. Please email me at youthoutreach@ahml.info. So that's it. I hope that at least one of those books sounded interesting to you. If not, please reach out to us. Fill out that Book Me form. We would love to find you some good stuff to read. Our library may be closed, but we're still here for you. We want to get through this together, okay? So thank you for watching. Bye.